RBK Nation, this is Real Boxing Knowledge 2. RBK, yours truly, is in the building. We don't have Mr. D. Clagan, and we don't have Mr. Antonio Norman with us today. They'll be with us at a later broadcast. So right now you just got RBK, yours truly. We're going to talk about Charlo versus Bud Crawford at 154 pounds. We're going to talk about Spence and his retaliation against being called out by Boots Ennis and Bud Crawford. And we're going to talk about the WBC president and Mr. Haney and Mr. Kambosos. So we're going to chop all that up for you in this episode. Like and subscribe to the channel, people. Hit the like button and subscribe and catch all of Real Boxing Knowledge 2's news and broadcasts. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. And we're ready to chop it up. So let's go with first things first. We got Mr. Jermell Charlo. Jermell is pulling out no stop. You know, he has a fight coming up against Castano, a rematch. And that rematch is for Undisputed champion. And he's anticipating being victorious because he's looking past Castano. And he's going ahead and calling out Terence Crawford, telling him to come on up to 154. Okay? Come on up here for Undisputed. And he will give a 50-50 split since Bud has, voiced some concerns what the purse bid or what the purse split would be versus Errol Spence. Okay, and they've been going back and forth about, he wants a 50-50 split and whatnot, but he doesn't represent real revenue. So just to show what a true champion does, a true champion doesn't doubt his skill set. He's not worried about no purse split. Jermell Charlo said, come on up here to 154. And we'll do a 50-50 and they can get it on. Now see, that's what I'm talking about. That's a real champion. Real champions like Roy Jones Jr., the Charlo brothers, Spence. These guys are not really concerned unless it's a ridiculous situation. Like with Spence being the big fish and then, Crawford wanting 50-50, that's an issue, okay? Because he hasn't done the numbers. So he hasn't earned his keep, so to speak. He hasn't done any heavy lifting, so to speak, as Errol Spence has pointed out. All right, but check it out. Spence is on Instagram saying that he'll take Bud and Boots back to back. Now see, again, this is a real champion. Nobody afraid of no fight. All of the big talk and everything, they talking everything and saying everything except let's fight. Okay, so that's ridiculous. But Spencer's saying, hey, I'll take them both back to back. Charlo is calling Bud up to 154. I'll give you 50-50. See, this is moxie. Okay, this is all 100% testosterone right here. Everybody's ready for action. All that tough talking and running your mouth and trying to be, the snazziest, the snappiest comeback. That jab is what needs to be snapped. Okay. Now, moving on to Mr. Suleiman, president of the WBC. He's not talking out the side of his neck. He's being pretty clear that he is hating on Devin Haney. Devin Haney was told by President Suleiman that he is in fact not the WBC champ, but he has some sort of a secondary pride belt. A pride belt. He didn't change the name of Devin Haney's belt. Okay, so Kambosos is being recognized by the WBC as the true undisputed champion. They've reduced Mr. Haney's belt down to a secondary belt to add insult to injury. So now the Duck Fest can get on, and they just don't want Mayweather to take over the WBC. That's they don't want that whole Mayweather prodigy, because Devin can definitely claim roots with with Floyd Mayweather, and who trained him and who kept him relevant in the game and schooled him and Roger and everything, and brought him up since he was a kid. So Floyd can lay claim to the development of Devin Haney. Okay. And WBC, they pro-Hispanic or pro anything but the brothers, pretty much. So they are always down to play favorites, do all sorts of extra perks and making exceptions and arrangements. And, it's so bold and obvious, it's a trip. But I'm sure this whole ordeal will end up catching up to the WBC president soon enough, and he'll be backpedaling again and explaining something else, to try to cover his tracks and don't look like such a hypocrite. But Mr. Haney has now fallen to the wayside belt-wise. He thought he was a real WBC guy. So the president pulled the rug out from under him and told him the Kambosos is the true Undisputed. And so now everybody can continue to duck Devin after he's beat, all of the people that have been put in front of him, Linares, everybody. And so he's probably not going to be seeing a fight versus Lomachenko. He's probably not going to ever get Ryan Garcia in the ring, at least no time soon. Okay. He's probably not going to be recognized by Kambosos. I don't even see Kambosos getting in the ring with him, because Haney has a kind of skill set that he can beat these people just outboxing. He may not have the power, but he has, just like Floyd, just enough power to make you respect him. You're not going to just run in there on him. He can pop you, but he doesn't have, he doesn't have hands of stone or nothing like that. So that's the rub on Mr. Haney. But just because he doesn't hit hard doesn't preclude or justify not getting in the ring with him. If you got an excuse and you saying everything but let's fight, it's because you're ducking him. And so kudos to Devin Haney, the Dream. You keep doing and representing, and you may have to look at 140. I think maybe your manpower might show up at 140 there, Devin. You never know. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Real Boxing Knowledge 2 is in the building. Just wanted to pop in and drop a little knowledge right there on the current events. Like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or anything, you leave them in the comments section. We do respond to what you put in there. See us on Facebook. We'll probably be going live here soon. It's been a little learning curve, fellas, because we're new to YouTube. We are new to the channel. So Real Boxing Knowledge 2 is in the building. We're about to sign out now. We will have Antonio Norman and Mr. D. Clayton with us in future broadcasts here shortly, probably after the holidays. So until then, enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Y'all be safe. If you get sick or anything, you can go to flujack.com and you will be better in about 3 days. Okay. This is RBK in the building. Peace.